Life shrinks or expands in proportion to one's courage. We all need to be courageous. If we are courageous in our life as an artist, our life will be bigger and better for that. I am Janet Roston. I'm the director, choreographer, and co-creator of Anaïs, a dance opera. We are so excited to be performing at Musco Center for the Arts. I mean, it's an absolutely gorgeous space. This is the biggest stage we've performed on. We're thrilled that Richard had the foresight and vision to select us and realize that we really were doing something new. That's a real kind of hybrid style that combines theater and dance and music with projections into something that's a really new way of presenting dance and also telling a story. We were interested in the world of Anaïs Nin. She was before Simone de Beauvoir. She was really about a woman's right to be equal of a man in all ways in terms of work, sexuality, a woman as a writer and being accepted, lifestyle, all of that. A woman having the right to really live her own life. A lot of the music, there's kind of a pop element, there's period styles, there's more sort of avant, modern, but it's all coming, I feel like, from kind of a rock premise. And I think it's just the idea that there's one singer telling a story who's completely integrated into the action, so that the vocalist in our story is eternal Anaïs, and then we have a dancer who's dancer Anaïs. And so eternal Anaïs and dancer Anaïs kind of interact. There are moments when they can see each other, but all the other characters really don't see the singer. It's like we feel like she conjures these dancers to tell her story. At first, we thought that the trajectory was just going to be Anaïs Nin and her relationship with Henry Miller, which is about a 10-year span, and that was the course of the story. But you know, the story of Anaïs Nin continues after that. The cherry on top of the sundae is that at one point she had two husbands, and she flew back and forth from the East Coast to the West Coast between the two husbands. And that's well after she'd sort of broken up with Henry Miller. That's it. You have to include that. So once as a group we realized we needed to move forward, then it really became her entire life. I knew that I wanted projections. The show has basically 3 sturdy chairs, a couple of stools, and then a few props, and then that's it, to tell a big story of a whole life. And we realized at a certain point was that I also wanted subtitles. I think a lot of times when you look at a musical or you hear something that's sung, you're focused so strongly on trying to understand the words that takes a lot of focus, and that you kind of can't take in everything else. So I felt that if you put subtitles into the projections, sort of integrated in a creative way, you would help the audience understand better. At least for my work. I'm interested in performers and dancers that have theatricality, different kinds of emotions in a real way. They have to have exquisite technique and musicality. The thing about Anaïs that's interesting is you may not agree with all of her life choices, and I'm not sure that I agree with all of her life choices. But what I do agree with is that she really believed that a woman shouldn't be held to a second standard. She was early on making a statement that if a man can go have all these multiple affairs and do whatever he wants to do, why shouldn't a woman? Ultimately, she had a lot to say about women and also creativity.